What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Edward, and I'm here with my co-host, Edward. What is up, Edward?
What up?
Not much, man. Another week in the books for the NFL, man. It was a lot of not a lot of close games this week, and it's a lot of bad football and a lot of bad football teams this week.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't have an episode last week because last week was, I think it was last week was week 6. Now we're
Yeah,
on to week 7.
yeah, yeah.
Am I too old to be doing this, or it was just like the thing to do now?
And we just saw Amon St. Brown. He just did he did a lot of players are doing this right now. So George Pickens did it too. Some the kids will know what it is. But yeah, man. What is your takeaways from week 7 of the NFL? Obviously, still continue on while we're recording this, but what's your takeaways?
What
Or
was
what's your
my
take?
take?
What's your biggest takeaway from the week?
I don't know why I'm dwelling on this, but no. I feel like nothing really like stood out to me much more. I'll say more the bad teams kind of stuck out more than like kind of like over like certain victories or like certain losses. But yeah, I think certain losses kind of stuck out more than like other teams winning games.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of bad teams, and I think there's not a worse team right now than the Miami Dolphins.
Well, the New York
They
Jets, well,
Oh,
New
the
York
New
Jets because they're
York.
still winless, but I see where
Okay,
you get. I see where you're headed.
okay, I got you. Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, man, they are horrible. They are horrible. The Miami Dolphins are horrible. Tua, man, 3 picks. Probably,
Boot.
there was one that he was about to. They were pressuring him right in the end zone, his own end zone, and I don't know why he threw it. I
Yeah,
guess the pressure
I
was
see.
there, and it was just a bad pick.
Yeah, I see.
Very bad.
12 for 23, only 100, exactly 100 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And I think
And
the pick you're talking about, it looked very, very, very similar to kind of like the pick he threw against the Chargers. And I think that was the pick immediately to start the second half, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think a lot of people are kind of like, I mean, you kind of just touched on it earlier. This situation in Miami, it's kind of like a lot of people are kind of like have a lot of fingers to point. Is it going towards Tua for turning the ball over? Is it going towards Mike McDaniel for like the
And it's
mismanagement,
been
kind of like the
and
kind of like just not coaching hard enough, or just his coaching style overall, or is it going to Chris Greer for once again having the talent from previous years and then not really paying them or acquiring adequate, not really paying or retaining the talent to kind of help them
hmm.
because a few years ago, like they had a good defense and then like just absolutely regressed and they
Remember
had like
they
key players on that defense and they just lost them in free agency.
and how many points did they score on the Broncos a couple years ago?
That was 70.
Exactly. So they from what they are now, from what they were, what they're supposed to be, it's just not looking good. And it's just like you said, like Tua saying something over these past weeks, and then Mike McDaniel saying one thing, and I mean, you don't even know what Mike McDaniel says in his press conference, to be honest with you. But I mean,
I see what you're getting at.
to have 6 points, 6 points only. You're playing another bad team, which in the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they have a really good defense. Obviously, the running backs, but
Yeah, funny. Like it's funny you say that about Michael Daniels because I guess earlier today I'm gonna read you this quote that I have right here. It kind of leads into like I guess what's going on next week because after the game yesterday he kind of did tease like he might have to make changes, but here we are today, Monday, October 20th. I'm reading a quote from Mike Daniels said, I guess talking about Tua, he's going to take snaps this week. He's going to be a starter this week, and my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks. I probably
so
didn't
that's like
do
a
a good.
shot. I had. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't.
kind of sounds like a shot to Tua.
I don't think I don't. I don't think I did a good job of like reading Mike McDaniels because I read it clearly. I didn't really. I didn't do the ums and
Pause.
ahs.
Yeah, pause. Yeah, but yeah, that does not sound good. And I think him and Tua probably have a their relationship's kind of it's kind of done. I think I'm surprised that Mike McDaniel still has a job right now. I would have thought that they would have let him go after this, literally after this game.
It
If
could
it wasn't
still
last
happen even
week,
after the. It could still happen after the season, but
honestly, I
I
mean,
think
I mean, what surprised you now? It could even happen right now, or it can happen tomorrow. Like, who knows? I mean, I know there's like they have what? They have a game next week.
yeah, they play the Falcons next week.
I mean, you don't even know. Maybe depending whatever happens next week, I think they just end it.
And
But
not to
I don't.
mention they also elevated Quinn
I forgot he
Ewers
was there.
as the backup quarterback, and for some reason Zach Wilson, I guess he was a healthy scratch. He wasn't active. He didn't dress for this game,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I don't
I,
even know Queen Ewers was there.
yeah. So I
To be
guess
honest.
Monday morning, Mike McDaniel's had a press conference, and I'm gonna read the full quote. So I guess he was just talking about like I guess what the game from yesterday. He said, "In this case, I thought it was important for us to watch the offense together. So we watched the past game together this morning, had direct communication about the ebbs and flows of the game and how we can improve for each other. Because to me, when you go through a performance like that, I don't see it all on a player or all on the coach. It's a working relationship. We both have to get better together because that's not good enough." So I think really I know Mike McDaniels kind of got his job for being the passing game coordinator or the offensive coordinator on the 49ers. Like, I think really the reason he's kept his job for so long, well, not for so long, but he still kind of kept his job because he still has like that offensive, yeah, he still has like that offensive whiz kid genius to him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be that
So,
offense, and that's why they had him and Tua in the beginning. It kind of worked out,
mhm.
and you were like, okay, this is the guy that was gonna help elevate Tua, and it did work out for what, like that what one the first season, 2 season, especially when they added Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill came. He got paid over trying to win,
So,
and
yeah, I think also add on that, yeah, they kind of had like their challenges in offense, but it also maybe he's kind of given the benefit of the doubt because Tyreek had that injury. He's out for the season, and honestly, his career is in jeopardy. Nobody knows
and and,
what's going to.
and Waddle was out. Waddle's hurt.
I don't know exactly about that.
Oh no, he was there. He only had one catch of 15 yards. Wow,
So
that's
it's
pretty
just a
crazy.
mix. It's also just a mix of injuries and just being bereft of talent. But I think,
I mean, they're probably the biggest. The like the out of everything that's happening in Miami, probably like the biggest thing that they ever did and was basically Darren Waller. Darren Waller. That was probably like the only thing. Even though he didn't, I don't even think he didn't catch anything
he
this
got
game.
injured
But
during
yeah,
he got injured during this game. He had a pec muscle injury.
yeah. But this probably like that's the only bright side from that they were able to get Darren Waller from out of retirement. But
I
I mean,
mean,
honestly.
yeah, I know like Mike McDaniel's name's kind of been thrown out in the media, but I know it's not. I don't want to say the issue's not their offense. It's like it's just poor execution. But like there have been times and moments like the offense has clicked. So maybe that's probably why ownership and Stephen Ross has kind of been maybe a little patient with Mike McDaniel's. But I still think like I think if you ask them for like an actual Dolphins fan, they probably have more anger and hatred. But
Towards
one maybe towards Tua for constantly turning the ball over, hence the nickname Tua turning the ball over. But
yeah.
also, I think more figures have been pointed at Chris Greer because as a GM, it's your job to assemble the talent, pick out the talent, and figure out ways to like keep them for the benefit of the team. But yes, so many key guys have left that organization. And it's just they were playoff contenders last year, and that playoff
Now they're
contenders in
just
previous years were just like they're
now
looking
they're
like
co-
they're going to be picking like the top five of the draft.
now they're competing with the Jets for the top another for the for probably first overall pick, and they said talking to another bad team, the Panthers versus the Jets.
Not to
I
me,
mean,
oh yeah, not to mention it probably was Chris Greer's idea to use all that money to maybe retain the talent and just use it instead to pay Tua, and he's not getting any results off of that investment.
honestly, who knows? Because it could be a situation where they move on from Tua with like, and then Tua goes somewhere, doesn't play, gets benched, and then because we've seen this with a lot of quarterbacks, especially now. Like you got Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, who has Mac Jones, all these quarterbacks that from whatever team they got drafted, they move on, they don't play, they get their bench, their backup from another team, then another team calls, they're the guy, and then I don't know where they're
I
you
mean,
know they're really good. And
not
that could happen with Tua situation.
I mean, not only is like even like the more head scratching thing is that once Mike McDaniel was brought in, he helped Tua like that one season. Now he's just completely regressed in the same system. So that's even the bigger head scratching thing. So even if there are two things that kind of like complicated with Tua, even if we were to go in another team, one, I don't know what team's going to take on his contract. Two, I don't know what other
I mean,
coordinator could really.
it only takes one team. It
What
only
kind of
takes one
like
team.
what kind of like helps towards his skill set.
I mean, like I said, any team, whoever at that moment is gonna need a quarterback, and they can look at Tua like, okay, well, there's still some upside with him, and they'll take that chance with Tua, you know. And then obviously him, if he goes to another team and is benched or is a backup to another starting guy, he's probably learning. He's gonna learn from that person, and then we'll see if he gets better. Because like I said, we've seen this over and over now that these former first round picks, you know, they go somewhere and then they don't play, and then they go to another team, and then they do better. They revive their careers.
I mean, Tua's already been paid, so I don't know. Like, even if he were to go somewhere, he'd probably be positioned already as the starter. So,
I feel like he most likely it would have to be like you said, it would have to be a right spot. But I think it's just best either. I mean, most likely it's gonna my man's gonna leave anyways, but it could be a spot where Tua just it's time to leave and just go somewhere else. Just not to the
but
Jets though.
it's just like
If you go to another bad team, it's pretty bad.
it's just like with the Dolphins. It's like so much endless possibilities. But you know how the saying is like, "There's nowhere else to go but up." With the Dolphins, there's nowhere else to go but down. So I think even Dolphin fans even know that with the way the season's gone, they're probably not. They want to expect changes, but it's probably not going to happen, and they're probably going to run it back with the same exact. They'll probably shock a lot of people. They probably run it back with the same front office, and oh no, it's still just head scratching how like this team puts up 70, and now like what the hell's going on?
Yeah, we don't know. But like I said, like another bad team, winless team. We're gonna go quick with these bad teams. The Jets, they're 0-7 again. They stink. They're horrible. I think what Justin Fields got benched, or was he hurt? Or what?
He for the last few weeks he's kind of been dinged up with like he's been going in and out of the tent for concussions, but this week he did go to the tent in this game, but I
They
guess
just benched him.
Aaron Glenn decided that he quote unquote needed a spark, and I guess just decided to go with Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I mean
And
yeah, go ahead.
it's truly just a question mark with what's going to happen next week.
I mean, it all went downhill once you see Aaron Glenn did that little run down the field and celebration. What week was that? Week one or two? Week
I
one?
think that was I think that was probably like maybe week 3 or 4 during the Bucks game, and they were in position to win that game, but
Yeah. I guess the Steelers too in week one. They like there was a bright side to them. Like, okay, this team isn't bad. Justin Fields has played well, played good, and it just does not look good at all in 0-7. It's just our organization just kind of just yeah, I feel yeah, it's pretty
they
bad.
I think Jets fans want to trust the process, but they're also just desensitized to the misery that they've had for like decades, and this is just the life that comes with being a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Where there's not, there really is no culture. Maybe the last person to really instill a culture was Rex Ryan, but their
Probably.
culture is just thinking
Yeah.
and
But
misery.
let's move on to another team that can you say they're back or like they're back but as if they never left. Man, the Kansas City Chiefs. Um Belt to ass to the Raiders. 31 to
That's
0.
an absolute shutout. Is that the? No, no, it's not the first shutout of the season, but
Yeah. They belt to ass. But literally belt to ass, and Mahomes looks like himself. This is the first time they got everybody healthy and back. And everybody ate this game. And it was probably a no-brainer that Rashid Rice was going to get on the scoreboard because I'm sure Andy Reid and Mahomes they were going to make sure Rashid Rice came back and scored, and he did twice.
yeah,
Um,
got to give credit to Andy Reid and his creative play calls because I think the Raiders defense maybe expected him probably like be an adequate pass catcher, but the Chiefs, I mean, the Chiefs can always Chiefs can always like disguise things and like come up with creative play calls with just really with anybody on their offense. They can play Xavier Worthy in the backfield, get some yardage. They can find Travis Kelsey, who's still he's always made money being the yard after catch guy, and even as he's getting up in age, he still had that one play They look like
Mhm.
vintage Travis. And then you got Hollywood Brown, Taekwon Thornton.
Yeah, and then like I said, having all these guys, it opens up the field more for everybody, so everybody can eat.
Hmm.
Travis Kelce threw a catch, 54 yards. Rashid Rice, obviously 7 catches for 42 yards. Brent Brashard Smith, 5 catch, 42 yards. Then obviously Worthy, Juju, everybody ate. Hollywood Brown, he scored 2 catch, 14 yards. So they got weapons enough. And like I said, we've said this before. Like we knew, even though the Chiefs were 0-2, even you said it, they were one of the few teams when they were 0-2 that realistically they're gonna get better as the season goes. And once they got everybody back and healthy, the Chiefs were gonna figure it out. And right now they're 4-3, and that division is pretty. It's pretty tight right now. I think right now they are.
Maybe
What are they?
that's
So they're third in the AFC West. The Broncos are 5-2. Chargers are 4-3 in second place, and the Raiders are 2-5. So it's anybody's game right now with this division. The Chargers, the only thing advantage that they have is that they 3-0 in divisional games, but obviously with injuries that they have basically went down. Basically basically most of the offensive line is just went down, and they're holding on to dear life with that position.
yeah. I mean, they lost. It was 38-24 to the Colts, correct?
Yeah, the Colts. Hey, look, the Colts are the real deal. Watching them, obviously watching this game against the Chargers, they are the real deal. Jonathan Taylor is a beast. 3 touchdowns, 94 yards. Both of those touchdowns were like basically walk in. Like the Chargers defense had no way to stopping Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones, he is cooking. Like I said, another player that.
You think he's leading the case for comeback player of the year right now?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him or nah, I wouldn't know who else. Who else would be even in that race? Yeah, I mean, see, yeah, Daniel Jones for sure. But yeah, man, hey, another player that could obviously compete with a rookie of the year, Tyler Warren. That dude is a monster. That dude, watching this game, he is a beast. He got a touchdown. Man, the Colts are the real deal. Obviously with
And
the Chargers. Yeah, go ahead.
also, you also got to bring up the Colts defense.
Oh, for
Look
sure.
like it looks completely drastically different from what we saw last year compared to now.
Yeah, one of the
I think
interceptions.
I
Yeah,
think their defense is actually top five right
yeah, one of the interceptions from like Justin Herbert, I feel like he shouldn't have thrown that ball, and they're already in the red zone, and I don't think he should have thrown that ball. The Chargers are having a difficult time scoring in the red zone. They're able to get there, they just haven't
now.
converted in the red zone. Um, but it's just all these injuries, man. It's like backup to a backup offensive line, and it's just like Justin Herbert threw 55 times. And this team is supposed to be Greg Roman's offense, is supposed to be a run first team. Jim Harbaugh run first team, and he threw 55 times, and he threw for 420 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions,
I
and
feel
he led
like
and he
you feel
led the
like
rushing. He
mhm.
led the team in rushing for 31 yards.
You feel like because of the whole mess up on the whole offensive line, I think you're gonna be. You feel like the team's asking Justin to do what he's supposed to do. You're kind of like one the offensive line's bad, and also with the bad offensive line, it kind of creates issues with like an adequate run game. And pretty much the top two running backs are officially out.
Yeah,
Well, not out, but your
one of
two
them is
key
gonna
running
go.
backs have been hurt now. I think it's kind of just like a committee at running back. And now I think that kind of just kind of like hold your offense in kind of like a weird position.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have Rondy Gadsden. He has 7 catches for 64 yards. He's been one of those players that has really stepped up. Keenan Allen, I mean, he still got it. 11 catch for 119 yards and a touchdown. Um, Vlad obviously, but it's just like this team is decimated with injuries, and defensively
And
they
yeah,
can't
I
they're
was just
doing
about to
bad.
say, I was just about to say, like at the beginning of the season, their defense is looking very efficient in like the whole world now. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like the maybe the morale of the team, I don't know, with all these injuries, it's just gone. I don't know what happened. This team, it just has fallen down in pieces right now. They barely beat the Dolphins, and then They just the game even though the game was 38-24 and the Chargers were trying to fight back, the Colts every time the Chargers scored, the Colts had an answer for them. The Colts defense really stepped up, and that's why they're 6-1 and right now possibly they're probably the best team right now in the AFC. Um,
I mean, the
obviously we'll see.
AFC West, it's still going to be still a pretty tight division. I mean,
Like I said,
I understand the Raiders suck and they're now 2-5, but going back to like what the Chiefs did, it's kind of been on brand. It's kind of been on brand considering they're division rivals. And I don't know, remember a couple of years ago, remember when the Chiefs kind of did like that little ring around the rosy formation,
yeah,
just to like mess, just to like kind of like mess with getting the Raiders' heads.
yeah,
I feel like they kind of did that. They also it's kind of been on brand even with this game. Because remember, I think Mahomes had that one play that kind of like got the Raiders' necks.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the actual TV broadcast kind of picked up what he said, saying how like play never works, and then they just ran a fake and they just got the first down.
Oh yeah, he said, "Oh, this never works," and then he snaps it, and then they got the first down. Yeah, like you said, him and Andy Reid always cooking up something. They always got the fake plays. But yeah, we'll see.
Maybe
We'll s
yeah, it's probably still in his mind because I think at the beginning of the season, I think the Raiders kind of took a shot at Mahomes in like the little schedule release video, but with
Mhm.
like that kind of like with that puppet that kind of looked like Kermit the Frog with his hairstyle.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
So yeah, Mahomes he said the right things, but I think he probably still had that in his mind.
Yeah. Let's move on. Like I said, keep staying with the AFC West, man. The Giants blew this game. The Giants had this game. They were beating the Broncos. They were up by 18 points, if I'm not mistaken, in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left in the game, and they blew this game.
That
This was gonna be one of the biggest, probably a statement win for them. Obviously, with the when they beat the Eagles, yeah. But this is another game, obviously away. And they blew it, man. They blew this game.
I know a while back I kind of said that that Titans Cardinals game was one of the most weirdest ways to really win and end a game.
Yeah, still pretty weird. Still pretty weird.
But now it's just more like the Giants were just in position to win the game, and then how the hell the Broncos just score 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. Obviously,
I mean, one thing is that like the kicker missed two extra points, so had he made those kicks,
was
they actually could
key.
have won.
Yeah,
They could have made 30. They could have won the game 34-33. But it's
or may
also
or even if he missed only one, they would have tied the game. The game
mhm.
would have been overtime.
But what's even
So
crazier is that I mean, yeah, I'll give credit to the Broncos
for
for
sure.
because ultimately they won the game fair and square. But I think you can kind of admit there were still like a little. There were some questionable calls that went to kind of like went in their favor and maybe kind of
The PI,
yeah. And
the
I think
PI,
like
the is it the one?
respectfully,
Is the one when Champagne went to the ref basically and was complaining, and also they got another flag. I think
mhm.
that was the play, right? Champagne went and went to go on the
Yeah,
field and
I think he felt like the whole team kind of got screwed, and now it's kind of been brought to my attention that Nick Benito got suspended. I guess. Hold on. I'm trying oh no, Dre Greenlaw got suspended. My bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, he got suspended one game for I guess kind of like he kind of like verbally threatened the ref on I guess on like a certain call, and I guess that kind of like played into I guess the whole theatrics of the game, and also obviously we saw that clip of Brian Burns walking to the tunnel.
Yeah.
So that's kind
Hey,
of like
that
my point. That's kind of my point saying like I think the refs didn't really get everything right. Where I think that kind of affected like what happened in the whole fourth quarter.
yeah, but the Giants could have they could have easily just won their game themselves if they didn't make certain mistakes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, not to say some of the stuff wasn't self-inflicted, but it was
right.
just like very, very weird officiating
And
on both sides.
I think that Brian Burns, I think he was mad because of that play where I think it was to Cortland Sutton to get to like that half the half field. I think it's
Yeah.
because the Broncos they weren't. I mean, the Giants didn't send pressure because obviously they were giving pressure to Bo Nix the whole game, most of the game, and their front defensive front they bring in pressure. And I think in that play, everybody was in the backfield,
Mhm.
and Bo Nix had the whole time just to throw it, and that's how he got there, and they were able to kick the field goal.
Yeah, it
And
sounds like that. The guys think that like they probably get a free play and think the call's going to go in their favor, but it turns out to be the other way around.
yeah, I mean, and then Jackson Dart, I mean, yeah, he's a rookie. Probably should have not thrown that ball and probably should have just taken the sack and the interception, which kind of changed most of the game.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, he played. I mean, 13 for 33, 3 touchdowns. But he has shown like changes this organization. And Scatterboo, man, that dude is a beast. That dude, the
it's
way they,
like it's so funny because like yes, the Giants they have a future to look forward to. Jackson Dart's clearly their new franchise quarterback, and Cam Scatterboo is their clearly like the best, probably the biggest spark of offense they've had. But I guess it's so consistent with the Giants. They always I'll say it's a little similar to the Jets. Like they always keep thinking like everything's on the up and up, and then this game just kind of like sends them back to that darkness, that
yeah,
sadness.
yeah, because they could easily be like second or maybe third in the division in the NFC East. And the way that the NFC East is going, they could make a if they would have won that game, they could have made a playoff push, especially the wild card position. Um, but they like I said, they blew it. They had it, and Lutz.
Funny, funny you bring that up because I guess currently at 2-5 they're still last in the division, but this team, this is still a team that was able to beat the Eagles on Thursday night, and we always know with the NFC East,
Still,
never any consistent winner. So
we'll
even when
see
we're
what happens.
kind we're still nearing the midway point of the season, but I still think it's anybody's game.
Yeah,
And not to
man.
mention, the Eagles look like absolute trash last week, and then I don't know where they're back again.
Yeah, they're back again. Sticking to like they said, sticking to the NFC. Talking about the NFC East. Let's talk about the Cowboys Commanders. I mean, man, the Cowboys offense. They Dak is playing amazing. Dak is playing the best football he has played. The offensively they're really really good. 3 touchdowns by Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb came back. He scored. George Pickens 82 yards. Obviously that one play that Lattimore did a PI and was able for the first touchdown for Javonte Williams. Um, man, Lattimore really hasn't done shit since he got signed for the Commanders. There's been there was high hopes when he got signed last season. Obviously last season, he just came in, so he was introduced to the defense and everything, but he hasn't really done much, man. I see more calls against him than him doing anything good. A lot of PI calls against him, to be honest with you.
And like even going back to last year, even when he was with the Steelers, it's kind of been on brand for George Pickens. Kind of like just have his moments and kind of like cook the Commanders because last season he was doing it to St. Juice, and
Yeah. Now he's
and
doing
now
Lattimore. He did it
and
to Lattimore.
and you would think from seeing them like last year and this year, even on different teams, they'll probably like implement a game plan to try to stop him. But GP just does what GP does. He's still one, like, regardless what uniform he's wearing, he's still one of those top 50-50 ball catchers in the league.
hmm But yeah, man, I mean the Commanders, even though it was 22-44, they kept it close in the beginning and then the Cowboy just went off. Um, what's it called? Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, I think he got his hamstring injury. Who knows what happens? I think they said he's okay. We'll see. Um, but when you're basically your leading receiver or your number one wide receiver is Robbie Chosen. That's kind of concerning. I honestly I didn't even know he was there. Robbie Anderson, now Robbie
I mean,
Chosen.
I mean, I saw some cutaways to him on the sideline in the Monday night game. And that's kind of reminded me like, oh yeah, I forgot he's on the team.
Yeah, I mean, if you literally look at this receiving core, we didn't have both our wide receivers with Debo being hurt, and then Terry McLaurin, he's injured, and I mean he got paid and everything, but he hasn't played.
I'm not
And
I'm not questioning it, but I think a lot of people are saying that like maybe like he wanted his money and like it's kind of convenient he's not playing. It's like once he got paid,
yeah, I mean we'll see. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. I
I
give
don't
him
know.
the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe that's divisional fans just trying to stir things up. You know how
I
fans
mean,
in the
benefit of the
division
doubt.
are.
Yeah, I mean, better, but like when you got the rookie Jalen Lane, Chris, I mean, I think he's the rookie or Chris Moore, one of them. Chris Moore, Zach Ertz is he's always gonna get in the end zone. Jaden Daniels' favorite receiver. He's been great addition to obviously last year to the receiving core. But yeah, man, this Lou McCaffrey didn't get not 1 yard, not even a ball.
And
He
I
didn't
don't,
get anything.
I don't know. This is the thing with Cliff. I don't know like why he keeps
Look,
I don't know why he keeps flip flopping, like not really giving Bill enough touches.
yeah, I mean, Bill, he should have scored. I don't know, man, but it just you kind of see it. And look, the Commanders have a tough schedule. I am not gonna lie to you, they have a tough schedule. They have Monday night game against the Chiefs
We're
in Arrowhead.
just we're just now getting back to strength. It's looking like mid season form.
And then they got to go, yeah, and then Lattimore the way he's playing. Then they got to go to now they have a home game against Seattle. They have three games, 2 games at home, I believe. Seattle, the way Seattle's playing, Sam Darnold's cooking, that's gonna be a very tough game. Sunday night game, another primetime game. Then they go against the Lions at home. It's looking tough. Then the Dolphins in Madrid. It's a little bit. We'll see what happens with the Dolphins depending on what situation what they're in. Um, then the Broncos, the Vikings, and then that's when they have the divisional games towards the end of the season. But it's
And I give you a hard time for being a fan of both teams and Chargers and Commanders, but
it's crazy because both teams they were doing so well in the beginning, and it's just like damn, like it's going
then
down
it's just
downhill.
the reason I say that is
Not
because
even one team.
I saw Jaden Daniels' agent slash mom also put out a tweet saying stop, I guess like kind of like stop manifesting the whole RG3
RG3,
thing with his
yeah,
son, and now I'm not wishing it, but I'm not wishing that, but it's like, do you feel like there's kind of like is this season? Do you think like the season can get maybe salvaged? Because I guess the MRI said he's okay, but it's looking like Jaden's gonna miss some significant time. He already missed some time with that knee now
yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Mariota has stepped up. I mean, so we'll see.
because
But it's a tough
there's
game, like
still
I said
there's still expectation with his team because where they were like the year
last
before they
year.
got Jaden Daniel, last year before they got Jaden Daniels to like now they got him and they were one game away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Like I said, the schedule. When I look at the schedule, is they're playing some really good teams right now, and teams that are hot right now, and they have really stepped up. Like I said, Seattle, the Chiefs, and the Lions. Offensively, they can score points, and
it's
I
just
don't know.
like the expectation for that team now is to like get back because obviously living in this area, fans have been like they
And
they dreamt of
like
that moment. Like they
I
realize
don't
they're
want.
so close they can just taste it. And
And
now it's
and and
just
and it's like I don't want to say like I don't know like cursed or something. I don't know because it's like last year whatever happened last year, and then we were able to experience the NFC Championship, and obviously we lost, but it was an amazing season, incredible season, a season not unforgettable. And then what is happening this season is just like damn, like are we going back to reality or something like we can't have it good. We only had it good for one year, and then back back to the where we are. I mean, honestly, who knows? I mean, like you said, the injuries have affected us. Obviously, we lost Austin Eckler. Um, so I don't know. Then they traded Brian Robinson before knowing anything what would happen with Austin Eckler, and then Terry his contract, and then he got injured. Debo has been up and down. Jaden's obviously been hurt. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. It's still a long season. I still have faith on both teams.
still got Bobby
Both
Wagner and Von Miller on that defense, but they're still kind of getting up
I
in age.
kind of forgot about Von Miller. He's on the team. I've seen his tunnel. I've seen his tunnel fits, but I don't know about much on the field. But yeah, man. But like I said, both my teams they're hurt. They're decimated. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Um, you guys lost on Thursday night. Tough game against Joe Flacco, but you guys are on to Green Bay. It's a home game for you guys, right?
Yes, this game will be in Pittsburgh.
We'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers going against his former team, the Green Bay Packers, Sunday night. Um, yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
LaFleur kind of came out and said like it's strictly going to be Packers game. I think he's moved on. He's moved on and just embraced Jordan Love. And oh no,
Hey, Aaron's gonna want to win this game, and he's gonna want to step up.
I mean, with the Packers, they were looking like
Oh man, I don't
kind
know
of
what
like
happened to the Packers. I
yeah, they're looking like they were looking like contenders in like the beginning of the season now, even acquiring Micah Parsons now. I think their whole issue is just like finishing games because I guess ever since
yeah.
that Dallas game, the Browns game, and I guess this game, like
They
they struggle closing games and like they can't really make a statement. It always keeps coming down to the wire.
yeah, and then hey, the Cardinals, they look good with Jacoby Brissett. The team's looking better with Jacoby Brissett, to be honest with you.
Jacoby
So
Brissett's he's kind of like in that tier of like backups. Like I've always seen him how he plays, and I think if he wanted to, he could be a starter. But I think he's just more content being a backup. So I feel like any team really gets elevated with him on the roster. But it's yeah. Another thing with the Cardinals is like they're one of those teams that like they never really reach their full potential, even with all the talent they have. I think that's kind of been a little consistent, especially in like the Kyler Murray era.
yeah,
That's also like it's not a knock on Kyler, but I think that's also like what we've seen with him. He was the number one overall pick, and he is like immensely talented, especially when he runs in the open field, given his height and stature. But
and he got
it's just
weapons,
like
like you said, Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah, it's just like Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. It's like yeah, like that's kind of been the Arizona Cardinals, just unreached potential, even though they're like very talented.
Yeah, but we'll see next week. But yeah, man, we'll be back next week on another pod. Till then, peace.
But NBA is coming back soon.
NBA, NBA, NBA. We'll see. We'll get talk on NBA. LeBron will be out for what? For the
He,
next 2 months?
yeah, funny. That's actually very weird. The NBA season starting and we're not going to see Braun until at least mid-December, but probably like Thanksgiving, honestly.
Oh yeah. So Stephen A has 2 months of no talking about LeBron. So we'll see.
It's a little.
On court, of course.
I
Not
mean,
a,
Braun,
right?
he never really has like a definitive answer. I don't know if he's even teased it, but maybe I think it's kind of significant. He's not really starting the season, and he's the only player from that 2003 draft still playing. So maybe it's a little weird knowing that like we're kind of closer to the end. You know,
Yeah.
Braun never definitively says anything about his future.
Maybe he'll have the decision three. I don't know. Part three.
And it won't be a commercial this time.
Yeah, maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said we'll be back. NBA talk, NFL talk. NBA starts tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, we'll start back to back. All right then. Till then, peace.
Bye, everybody.